friends, welcome to another process video. This one is for the July Design Team Challenge at Peartree Cutfiles. And so this month you can get this cut file called Ocean Waves for free in the Peartree Facebook group. So please hop on over there and grab it. And then we want to see what you create with it. So go ahead and share it. There will be an album in the Facebook group. You can share your design. So what I decided to do with my cut file was I cut it out of white cardstock, and I did something that lots of people have done in the past, but I have not tried before. So I took 3 colors of Distress Oxide in various blues and a blending brush, and I am just kind of blending in. I'm being super careful there at the bottom because the letters are there, and I didn't want my letters of the ocean or waves to be colored. I just wanted the waves. And so now that I've colored that, I'm backing just the wave portion with vellum because I wanted it just to have a soft look. I didn't want to back it with paper. I wanted to be able to see through it a little bit, and so vellum was my best option there. And this is one way that I back cut files, where I will glue it all down onto the paper and then cut around it. And then in a moment or two you're going to see a second way that I back cut files, which is to trace the letter on a piece of paper. So first I'm picking out my paper. I'm using those 2 photos that you see there that are from right after my wedding. My husband and I went down to Cape May, New Jersey, just for an overnight trip before we came back and back to reality and work. And so I took a picture with the ocean. So I traced the letter backwards, and I used the negative part of the letter, and then I cut them out. This time I decided to do all of the letters in the same pattern paper, and then I stick them down. And then most of the time it fits. I did have to trim a little bit off once I get them all down. I turn it back over and see if any pieces are hanging over, and I trim. You'll see in a moment. Oh, I missed a little piece of vellum there, so I'm adding that in. There we go. Adding that O back in. And then you'll see I have to trim a little bit off. That didn't fit in. So for this layout, I'm using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Coastal Seas, I think it's called. I can't see it on the I can't see what the name is called on the branding strip there. It's a new collection by Simple Stories. And so I picked these 3 pattern papers to go along the top of the layout. And then I'm going to put my title there at the bottom. And I decided I need a little bit of movement along the bottom. I pulled out a scalloped edge punch, and I am punching just the bottom edge of each of the strips. And then distressing. I feel like this collection looks distressed already, and so a really kind of rougher distress edge looks really nice with this. Although I have been into distressing most of the edges of my papers lately. And so once I get these down, I am going to stitch in a coordinating color around each block. And there's my little bucket of threads. So the red and white stripe I stitch in red, the blue striped I stitch in blue, and then the seagulls I stitched in white. And I love adding foam adhesive to the back of my cut files and popping it up. I'm just doing it on the letters here. I don't add actually any adhesive at all to the waves. It's secured enough with the adhesive that's on the back of the letters. And so here I decided I wanted another scalloped border to go beneath excuse me, to go beneath the scallop border I already created. And I'm not really concerned at all that it's not a full 12-inch sheet of paper because I end up hiding the border behind where I place the cut file down. You actually don't really see a lot of this in the final layout. it gets covered up. And there I realized I never distressed it, but that's okay, because like I said, see, a lot of it does get covered up, but you do see it there. Alright, so I'm cutting my photo down. I print my photos at 3x4, and I do print them from Persnickety Prints. And I like to cut it down just, I think it's like 3/8 of an inch I end up cutting down, and then it mats perfectly on a 3x4 piece of paper. So this is one thing I like to do. I'll take a 12x12 piece of paper and I cut it down to 3-inch strips, and then cut those 3-inch strips to 3x4-inch cards. And I just keep a box of them on my desk so that they are ready to go, because that's typically the size that I will need to mat a photo. And so I ran out, so I was just making myself some more. And then that piece was not exactly 3x3 inches, but I ended up hiding the little piece that was kind of jagged. And then I decided to add a border along the bottom of the layout. And again, I use a 6x6 piece because I end up hiding the seam with a sticker when I embellish. There we go. It takes me a moment to decide exactly how I want to work that out there with the seam, and then I decide one of my embellishment clusters is going to go right over it to cover it. So here I lined them up to continue the scallop, but then I had the border, or I had the little bit that didn't fit on the right side, and so it doesn't really matter because you'll see in a couple minutes that I put something there. And then I did add a line of stitching across the bottom of that blue. Alright, adding another mat to my square photo of the ocean. And we sort of hit the beach right at sunset, so I got the really pretty sky there. So I only got a few pieces of this collection. I got those foam stickers. I got the sticker book because the sticker books are full of great embellishments. I got the collection pack, and then I think that's it that I got in that collection. The collection pack had the sticker sheet with it. So I always mat my stickers from the sticker book on a sheet of white cardstock. It makes them sturdier, and then I also like that I can kind of turn them into die cuts and move them around. And so I use 3 of those labels, the circle labels, to start my 3 clusters. And then I went with the starfish, couldn't think of the name, the starfish idea. And so I'm starting to build those clusters in the 3 spots. There is a lighthouse in Cape May. We were not at the lighthouse. We were sort of very close to it actually, but I thought that lighthouse was pretty. So I put that in. Phrase stickers. I pull out a Scrappin Happy Flair from a collection. I just purchased a large order of some summer flair. I didn't have anything for summer, and this color went perfect with this page. It just says hey. I'm adding some tangled thread. I love the texture of that. So I adhere my Scrappin Happy Flair with glue dots. She says not to use liquid adhesive right on the package. And then the glue dot also helps adhere the thread down, so I don't add any extra adhesive. And now that I added a phrase sticker to that upper left cluster, I'm finishing up the other clusters with the same idea with the phrase stickers. Now here I don't add white cardstock to the back of this circle sticker because I'm putting it directly on the background. Sometimes when I put the stickers from the sticker book down and it's on top of multiple layers, it doesn't really sit flat because it's thinner, and that bugs me. So that's another reason that I often will add white cardstock to the back. Using some foam adhesive to pop things up. Excuse me. And then I'm adding another circle into that cluster so that all three clusters have a circle, and heart sticker, heart foam sticker. And then I decided to embellish a little bit more around the A, where I added the seaside foam sticker. The icons in this collection are really cute. I don't have a ton of beach photos, but I do love the red, white, and blue look for nautical theme. I pulled out some enamel dots that I have in my stash. I did not get the enamel dots that go with this collection, but as many people I'm sure could agree with, I do have a lot of enamel dots in my collection from past collections. So I pulled out some that matched this. Got to finish up adding thread. Of course I stuck things down, so I need to kind of move them up. In that upper left-hand corner cluster, I end up moving those enamel dots over a little bit and adding some journal strips in that I type on my computer, just about where we were and what we were doing. And I think we're coming close to the end here. I had some white splatters off camera. And yeah, you're going to see some close-ups coming up here soon. Thanks for joining me.